Joe Biden being victorious in the U.S. presidential election could scupper a trade deal between the U.S. and the UK, but Prime Minister Boris Johnson might have an ace up his sleeve. International Trade Secretary Liz Truss met her U.S. counterpart in Washington for the third round of talks to reach a trade deal between the two countries earlier this month. Mr. Johnson put an agreement with the U.S. at the heart of his plans to revive the British after Brexit, and Ms. Truss's decision to travel during the coronavirus pandemic highlighted London's willingness. However, despite Ms. Truss's visit, the talks have been beset by disagreements, and the Secretary of State, Robert Lighthizer, said a deal is unlikely to happen this year. The upcoming U.S. presidential election, due to take place on November 3, could also further complicate things for Britain. Joe Biden, Mr. Trump's Democratic rival and currently ahead of the polls, is said to be against the landmark free trade deal between the two nations. His position on the matter is not exactly known, but Democratic Party leaders have been much more lukewarm on Brexit than leading Republicans. Mr. Biden was vice president in an administration that put itself squarely behind David Cameron's Remain campaign, notably clashing with Mr. Johnson in the process. Mr. Biden said in Dublin the day after the referendum, "We'd have preferred a different outcome." He then lashed out at the reactionary politicians and demagogues peddling xenophobia, nationalism and isolationism, in Europe and the U.S. The U.S. Democrat even described Mr. Johnson as a Britain Trump. Despite the daunting challenge, achieving a trade deal with the U.S. under a Biden administration might not be impossible for Mr. Johnson. Dame Karen Pierce, who arrived in Washington as Britain's ambassador in March, could be the Prime Minister's key to success. Dame Pierce is now busy forging ties with rising Democrats. Although the task may be complicated in a city where contact building for new arrivals presently takes place on Zoom, her experience in diplomacy is vast. She was previously the permanent representative of the United Kingdom to the United Nations. A report for The Times added, her previous posting in Washington was between 1992 and 1995, the last time a president lost his bid for re-election.